This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
I don't know how much time I have. Scratch that, I know exactly how much time Gail will take in the shower, so I don't have much time. We're at the Terra Firm fitness competition. Gail is a fitness model and I'm a bikini model. We're best friends and have been for 5 years, so we came here to compete. Yeah, that didn't happen. We had a room here at the hotel where the convention is. We were down in the main lobby with everyone else mingling. Gail had her dark hair, highlighted, curly but manageable around her head. She had on her typical be seen outfit of a navy blue bralette and a dark blue wrap. I had on a bright pink tube top and jean skirt. We're out to be seen in case any of the judges are around to see us. Gail has bigger biceps and a more muscular back than I do. My abs stand out more and my legs are bigger than Gail's. We both got breast implants of 500 cubic centimeters, so we stand out as women in the crowd. Boy, there was a crowd. The superhero muscle man was there. I never realized just how tall he was. I've seen pictures of his rippling muscles and wide smile. The light brown hair is the only hair he has. I say that because he had a mob around him, but I caught glimpses of him only wearing a Speedo. He has to shave daily. It's weird to see a guy that is impervious to bullets, can lift a tank with one hand, and has leveled a skyscraper with one punch, but he has to have security around him to keep a mob back. Gail and I were off to the side watching. The image of me rubbing my delicate hands all over his muscular body made me so hot my nipples were showing through my tube top. I had a thought and had to ask Gail.
Do you think he's got a super muscular cock?
I leaned over to ask her. Gail shot me a disapproving look. She's been able to do that since we met.
Kim,
she said, and for a moment I thought she was going to pull out what she calls her black sass, but she didn't.
if anyone has a muscle in his cock, it would be him. No sleeping with the judges.
Who'd be sleeping?
I said, looking at his firm ass. Gail was about to say something else, but she just stopped. It was odd, so I was about to look over at her, but then I felt something touch the small of my back. That's when everything changed. My mind felt like a blanket had been thrown over it and held down. There was one thought that remained. One phrase that was the only thing in my mind at that moment. Please and obey the master, was either in my mind or out my mouth. I don't know. It was the only thing that I could think of. I just stood there, and there was one small question, barely a whisper in my head. Who's the master? Then this guy stood before us. Now I'm 5 feet 8 inches tall and taller with my 3-inch heels, but this guy was super short. He had to be 6 inches shorter than I was. His hair was dark, short, and still looked greasy. His eyes were dark, haunted. His nose was long and sharp. His face was a little lopsided, or maybe that was his wicked smile. He would have made a perfect mad scientist assistant. He had on a baggy white t-shirt with some logo on it that had the world, and a pair of shorts, and he had slung over one shoulder a black backpack. He looked me up and down, and then Gale.
I am the master,
he said in a voice that matched his face. In that instant my mind focused. It was so weird to know this little man was who I had to please and obey. At the time I didn't even question it. I just would please and obey him. No question. No hesitation. In that instant there was nothing but him.
Follow me, and don't attract attention,
the master said as he turned and headed for the bank of elevators. My legs moved. I didn't even consciously think about it. I just followed the master. Gale was beside me, keeping pace. I wasn't scared. I wondered if I should have been. I wasn't. We walked to the elevator and the master pushed the up button.
Do either of you have rooms here?
The master asked. I had to please him. Answering his question truthfully would please him.
Yes,
Gale said quickly. I said at almost the same time but a fraction slower. The master smiled, and I felt a surge of happiness too. I had pleased him. That made me feel good.
Together?
He asked almost in a leering way.
yes.
Gale said quickly, and I was again a fraction behind.
Take me there.
The master commanded as the elevator doors opened and we got in. I pushed the button for our floor, and we slowly started to ascend. Alone in the elevator, the master looked us over in better light. He looked Gail up and down, inspecting her.
I've never had a black girl before,
The master said to Gail. Any other time I think Gail would have slapped him, or read him the riot act about saying her skin color doesn't define her. Gail is a research scientist looking into how to stop blood-borne illnesses. She's one of the smartest people I know. She divorced her husband 2 years ago because the guy was as dumb as a rock. Here she was, as I was, only wanting to please the master. That's why I think she didn't say anything.
kiss me.
The master said to Gail. Gail looked a little shocked by this, but she leaned over and gave the master a peck on the lips. That was lame even to me.
No,
The master said evenly.
kiss me. Like a lover. Like you've not kissed your soulmate in months.
Gail's whole attitude changed. She went loose and wrapped her arms around the master's head. She pressed her body against his. She turned her head as she pressed her lips against his. Moaning started as the pair staggered to lean against the wall. It was an active, hot and steamy kiss. When Gail finally broke it off and stood up, I could see her sweating a little. The master was gasping for breath. He adjusted the backpack on his shoulder as he composed himself.
That was quite a kiss.
The master said and looked at me.
Can you?
His words were cut off by the elevator doors opening.
Whatever. Let's go to your room.
Again my legs moved without input from me. Gail got our room card out of her small purse and led us into the freezing room. I didn't think we had the air conditioner on that high, but it was cold. The master ushered us in and then closed, locked, bolted and chained the door.
Okay.
The master said, looking at the simple room. 2 queen-size beds, our luggage, a TV, bureau, a small table, a pair of chairs, and a few writing things was our room. The master flopped onto the bed and swung around his backpack to his front.
I would tell you two to do a sexy strip tease for me. But seeing as you're both practically naked,
The master said, fishing things out of his backpack.
both of you strip naked and stand at attention, and be careful not to dislodge the stickers on your back.
Stickers. That was the first I heard about that. Then I remembered the touch to my back. He was controlling us with stickers. Given our world has superheroes with powers beyond scientific understanding, it wasn't impossible. My top went over my head. My skirt went down. My panties went with them. Undecided, but he said naked, so off went my shoes. Gail saw me do this and took off her shoes too. Then I felt my body stand up and go rigid. I've never been in any kind of military, but I've seen movies, and I stood there in that cold room, naked, and my mind focused only on obeying and pleasing the master.
I was going to grab Miss Muscle down in the lobby.
The master said as he was writing something on a small slip of something.
She had way too much security. I wasn't getting close to her. You two, however, were prime targets with your backs exposed like that.
He kept glancing at his phone on the bed as he wrote, as if checking something he was writing.
I'm not cut out to be some supervillain anyhow.
The master said, and I realized he was monologuing.
I mean, I have superpowers, but they're limited. I can write something down on something adhesive to a person's skin, and they will obey whatever I write down. The issue is, it has to be in my hand. If I print it out, it doesn't work. It also has to be fresh. I've got about 10 minutes after writing on a sticker what I want someone to do, but if I don't stick it to someone, the sticker doesn't do anything. So, no pre-made stickers. I also can't take one sticker from one person and put it on another person. That doesn't work. The issue is, as soon as the sticker comes off, the person is free and remembers what they did. But I have tricks to get around that. Okay.
The master said, standing up with 2 stickers, still on their plastic paper backing. They looked like address labels for packages. He pointed at me and asked,
What's your name?
Kimberly Zaman.
I said, and the master had me spell it.
I'm a horrible speller.
The master said, and I found that ironic that someone that can control with words can't spell well. That's why he was looking at his cell phone, to make sure he was spelling his commands correctly. He looked over at Gail and got her full name of Abigail Vogels. He then went around to our backs. It was a moment, and I heard things being put on the small table behind us. Then I felt something wet and cold on the small of my back.
Just a little alcohol to clean the skin before the sticker,
the master said.
I'm not making that body lotion mistake again.
Then I felt something smoothed out on my back, just above the small of my back. Then something pulled away from my skin. It was so weird. My mind cleared, but in a way that made me even more intensely focused on the master. I didn't just want to please and obey him. I wanted to be anything and everything to him. It wasn't just obedience, but a soul-deep desire to give him everything from my spirit to my will to my body. It was sexual in a way that he could have my body, use my body, have me do anything, and it wasn't obedience but a love for him, a need for him that made me not care if I was enjoying myself, only him. I could keep talking about how much I wanted to be his for hours, but I have so much more of the story before Gail gets out of the shower and it's my turn. I was still standing at attention when the master came out from around Gail to stand before us. He smiled as he pulled off his shirt and dropped his shorts and underwear. He kicked off his shoes and pulled his socks off. Every movement of his body was a screaming sexual desire in my brain, in my heart, in my vagina. The master was rather hairy. He had a thick mass on his chest and his back, and there was a wild bunch above his cock. Oh, his cock. I could talk about his cock for hours too. Looking at it in that moment, it was the perfect size, shape, and the just right tool for fucking. It wasn't overly large or small, not kidding, a perfect 8 inches. It was straight and hard and thick, and I was getting wet looking at it. Fuck, I'm getting wet just remembering it.
Okay, first,
the master said, looking at us.
Do not remove the stickers on your back or each other's back, and if you feel it coming off, put it back on and let me know. Lessons learned. Second, you're both bisexual, so you can fuck each other too.
Seemed so perfect. Hearing that command was just what I needed. The master was my ultimate fuck, but Gail's body would be a close second. I'd thought about women before, but it never excited me. In that moment, if I could have ripped my eyes from the master's cock, I would have looked at Gail with lust.
Third,
the master said.
Keep the noise down. I don't want anyone looking into what we're doing. Now, both of you, come over here and lick my cock.
I was already salivating as I dropped to my knees. Gail mirrored me as we went to the master's body. My tongue touched the soft, smooth skin of his dick, and I swear I was so aroused at that moment I had a mini-orgasm. Gail's face must have looked like mine, eager, needy, and not just for the master's dick. I know I wanted more from him. I wanted more commands. I wanted more direction. It was like intense anxiety, but for the master to let me know how to please him. I would have done anything for the master, and not had any thought about ramifications.
Okay,
the master said, pulling his hard dick back.
Gail, mount me.
The master said, getting on his back on the bed.
Kim, masturbate. Make yourself super wet, but don't come until I say.
Yes, master.
I said on my knees with my right hand sliding to between my legs. Calling him master felt so right, so good, and so perfect. That got me just as wet as my middle finger sliding into me. I had to hold back the orgasm I felt building as I watched Gail lower her dark, muscular, sweaty body down onto the master's hard cock. At that time I could only imagine what that felt, filling myself with the master's cock. I watched Gail's eyes roll up and her body shake as she let her body slide the master all the way inside of her pussy.
Rock your hips,
the master said. Not sure if he meant Gail or me. I started rocking my hips at the same time as Gail. I was so wet. Mean it. I'd never been that wet before. It was flowing down my legs. My hand was covered in my juices. I was edging, so close to an orgasm that it would have been uncomfortable if the master hadn't been the one to command me.
Come on, Gail.
the master said.
Really put some effort into it.
Yes, master.
Gale said as she sped up her hips and grinded her pussy on the master's cock.
Oh yeah.
The master said at this.
Okay, hang on. Too much. Gale, get off me.
Yes, master.
Gale said, letting her wet sex slide off his hard and purple-looking cock.
I almost came.
The master said on all fours.
I don't want to do that yet. However, you can. Both of you. I command you to come as hard as you can.
Yes, master.
Came out of my mouth. I don't know if Gale said anything. I was rather busy. The orgasm I had been edging towards tipped over the edge. I read somewhere someone calling an orgasm a magical flex. And that's about right. Every muscle in my body flexed with my brain going overload. It was pleasure and pain that weren't mixing right. The agony of my body contracting harder than seemed possible. The pleasure of my pussy and brain being flooded with erotic joy. My pussy pulsed, and with each one my body flexed, and another wave of painful pleasure ripped through me. I was left gasping, sweating, and feeling minor surges of my body having aftershocks of my orgasm. Then I felt my body being moved. The master was picking me up. He was stronger than he looked, and draping me over the edge of the bed. I spread my legs because I knew what he was going to do, and I wanted it. He slid into my wet pussy with almost no force needed. I was so open to him that I wanted him inside me with no resistance.
Kim.
The master said, drawing my attention to him.
Clench down on my penis.
Yes, master.
I said and flexed my body down there. I could feel his hard member inside me. When he started stroking, I think I lost my ability to speak. Nothing in my entire life, and even in my imagination, had ever felt that good. It was the kind of feeling I think drug addicts get from that first high. The orgasm that had just subsided was not only building, but I swear I was about to come that second.
Gale.
The master said.
Get over here. Spread your legs, so Kim can lick your cunt.
Yes, master.
Gale said, scooting over like she was straining against a heavy weight.
Kim.
The master said, gripping my hips.
You want to... What am I doing? Kim, I command you to love licking Gale's pussy. Love everything about Gale's pussy. Eat her out vigorously.
Yes, master.
Was all I said as that wet, pink rose was before my face. I didn't think getting pounded from behind by the master could get any better, but as soon as my tongue touched Gale's folds, I'd been elevated to another sexual level. I was climaxing as my tongue was sliding into Gale's wet vagina. At the same time, I was feeling my body rocked by the pressure of the master's perfect cock driving into me. My legs were shaking, my pussy was quivering, and my arms were uncontrollably spasming. I was a mess of erotic sex. Dimly, because Gale's thighs were on either side of my face, I heard part of what the master said.
Squirt. Hard, shaking, 10, obey.
I was busy so I didn't hear everything, but then Gale's pussy flexed and I got a face full of her juices. I got control of my hands and pulled her pulsing hips hard against my mouth. I sucked and licked and felt her clit hot and hard, and I wanted more. I loved it. Gale obliged, and a few moments later she was squirting into my mouth again. I kept licking and tonguing and everything I could think of. I loved it. If I'd ever had a perfect moment in my life, it was having Gale's pulsing pussy in my mouth squirting into it. At the same time the master was pushing his dick so deep inside me I could feel his balls slapping my clit. Another orgasm hit like a falling wall as I was shaking again, and much to my regret my mouth came away from Gale's slit. The moment couldn't last and I felt the master pull out of me. It was a loss I whimpered like a hurt puppy at.
On your knees, both of you.
The master commanded, and I quickly obeyed. Gale wasn't far behind. There we were, sweaty, needy, with begging eyes, dripping pussies, and the master had his hard cock before us. I knew what was going to happen next, and I welcomed it with a passionate eagerness. The master was stroking himself before he visibly had a thought.
You too, jack me off. So I shoot my cum on both of you.
The master commanded.
Yes, master.
Gale said.
Yes, master.
I said a fraction slower. Gale's hand wrapped around the master's cock to stroke his pussy-slick dick. I was handling his balls, literally. We were all moaning. I could feel my juices running down my legs, pooling under my knees. The heat from Gale's naked body next to mine was like a campfire. I really wanted to stick his dick into my mouth. I felt his balls tighten a moment before the master said,
"I'm going to come."
For a small guy, he had a big load. I'm not kidding. I've had sex before, many times before, and the guys I've been with had maybe a spoonful or two come out. I get it, the idea is to make just enough to make a baby. And one guy can get multiple women pregnant, so don't waste the seed. The master was different. His cock pulsed and shot a huge glob into Gale's hair. His next shot spanned Gale's breasts to finish on mine. His cock was angled, and another shot hit me going up and landing from nose to hairline. He wasn't done. He just kept coming. Surge after surge of his load got on me, on Gale, on both of us. I was getting it from head to knees. My breasts were shiny with his slightly cloudy but mostly clear cum. I don't think I'd ever seen or heard anything about people coming that much. It might have been part of his superpowers. Then the surges slowed and then stopped. Gale and I were still pleasuring the master's dick and balls until he told us to stop. The master sat down on the other queen bed and dropped down onto his back. I still wanted that cock of his, even if it was going soft in the cold air. A minute later the master said,
"Well, that was fun. Ladies, stand at attention."
Using my psychology education, I wondered if the master had come from a military family, and his first sexual awakening was with a muscular woman standing at attention. Regardless, Gale and I were on our feet, standing there, waiting for orders as cum dried out on our bodies. It took another minute for the master to sit up. He leaned over and got his phone and looked at it.
"Crap,"
he said, seeing the time.
"Okay, I really need to go get a shower, in my room."
He raced around and got his clothes. I was wondering if it would save him time if we washed him. This got my mind thinking about sucking him off on my knees in the shower, and realized that washing the master would not save time. The master was getting his clothes on, and then pulled up something from his phone.
"Okay, ladies, listen up.
The master said, reading from his phone.
I am your master, and order you to obey with your entire mind, body, and soul these commands. How about, okay, ladies, as soon as I leave, I want you two to 69 each other for the next 18 hours. You will do everything you can to make the other person come as much as possible. When the time is up, Gale, you will take a shower first, washing your hair and scrubbing your body for a full half hour. This will make your sticker come off. Just before it does, I want you to delete permanently from your conscious and subconscious mind everything that happened from just before you saw me."
The master turned to me.
"Kim, you're now multi-orgasmic, and these orgasms come quick and easy. As soon as Gale is done with her shower and comes out, you will say, 'My turn,' and immediately go in and take a half-hour-long shower, making sure to wash your hair and scrub your body. Again, this will make your sticker come off. Just before it does, I want you to delete permanently from your conscious and subconscious mind everything that happened from just before you saw me."
The master put his phone away and made sure his backpack had everything he came in with, then looked us up and down again, and I felt the heat that never went away mix with the soul-crushing fear of losing him.
"Okay, you can move again,"
the master said. I was on my knees with hands clasped, begging.
Please, master, don't go.
I was almost crying.
I'll be your perfect slave. I'll do anything you want.
I was babbling after that and saying anything to keep him there. Gale was debasing herself the same next to me, but I don't remember what she said.
"Relax,"
the master said, and I couldn't help but feel my body and mind lose energy.
"Be happy knowing that I'm going to get more slaves and more women,"
the master said, and I think there was a dopey smile on my face. I do remember imagining him with the female superheroine Miss Muscles, and many other women, bowing towards the master.
"If nothing else, you two ladies convinced me that muscular women can be even more fun than normal women or supermodels or actresses. How about this as a gift? Your memories of this evening will all be erased when I leave, except for the two of you fucking each other. It won't be clear, but you'll both remember fucking each other. Consider that a thank you. I really have to go if I'm going to meet my wife at the airport in time. You two have fun.
The master ran out the door. Instantly, I wasn't relaxed anymore. I was hungry. Hungry for Gale. We all but attacked each other. 18 hours is a really long time. More than once, I felt my sticker starting to come off, and I put it back into place. I don't know how many times Gale and I climaxed in that time period, but it was a lot. We were both soaked in sweat and cum. My tongue and lips were sore. My body was weak from all the orgasms that were ripped out of me by Gale's tongue. As good as it was, I wished the master had been there to fuck us too. The moment the 18 hours was up, Gale got off me and went straight for the bathroom. I lay there for a moment, exhausted, gasping for breath, and then I realized I was going to forget all of this in 30 minutes. I didn't want to forget. I love the master, whomever he really is. So much it hurts to think that I'll never know he existed. That's why I'm writing all this down. For him. For the memory of him. I can hear the water off. I'm sure at any moment Gale will come out of the shower, confused, see the time, and realize we both missed the entrance competitions. Mine was 3 hours ago, and Gale's was 2. After I forget the master, I'll be confused and mad at what happened to us. I don't want.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.